1:48 p.m. Central, 2:48 p.m. Eastern on your Friday afternoon, June 30th, 2023. Dr. Don back in here with you. I've got a brand new special weather statement from the National Weather Service out of Birmingham. This is going to be for Randolph and Clay County. As the National Weather Service has now issued a special weather statement for Randolph and Clay. It expires in 41 minutes. At 1:44 p.m., Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm along a line extending from Ranburne to near Heflin to near Alexandria. Movement was to the south at 30 miles per hour. Winds in excess of 40 miles per hour and penny-sized hail can be possible in both Randolph and Clay as these storms move through this afternoon. And, of course, we continue our severe thunderstorm warning over in Georgia. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Carroll, northern Heard, and northwestern Coweta until 3 p.m. this afternoon. So it appears the National Weather Service in Atlanta is opting to go with severe thunderstorm warnings, and Birmingham is pretty much going with special weather statement this afternoon. And you can kind of see the motion of the storms as we put the radar loop in motion. And just notice right here along the Randolph County, Heard County line, almost due west of Franklin and due east of Wedowee, we have a heavy thunderstorm that's beginning to develop there. So I'm thinking the Weather Service probably issued this special weather statement for a couple of different areas. This developing storm in eastern Randolph, and also this stuff coming out of Jacksonville, which is still situated north and east of Anniston. That's going to push off to the south as well. That's the part of the special weather statement that will affect north and northeast Clay. And then for Randolph, you have this heavy stuff up here in the northeast part of the county, and then that developing storm right there along the Randolph County, Heard County line, which is without question the heaviest part of the storm in Randolph County at this time, stretching basically now from the Cleburne County line down to around Woodland. And then right across the eastern half of Randolph County out there on County Road 87, and then down to a point just south of Franklin. Very heavy thunderstorm developing right there. No question we've probably got some penny, maybe a little bit larger than penny-sized hail out there on County Road 87, and the winds are certainly picking up out there as well. So that is the situation at this hour across East Alabama and West Georgia. No tornado warnings, but we do have some very heavy thunderstorms moving in that could present some 60-plus mile-per-hour winds and some large hail this afternoon. Got a report of no power up in the Hawk community, and that's right up here in the northeastern sections of Randolph County. So no question that this storm is kicking a pretty good punch as it's coming down from the north. So, again, heads up. Roanoke, I think you will get in on this action because this stuff is developing just to the northeast of you, and it's moving south. If this heavy cell over in the eastern section of the county doesn't get you down here in Rock Mills and Roanoke, this other heavy activity up in the northern part of the county eventually will. So pretty heavy rainfall now and dangerous lightning and wind and thunder and hail all across the eastern half of Randolph County, and it continues to move to the south. Now, Chambers County, you're probably going to be in line next. Troup County. LaGrange, this is developing just to your northeast. It's also moving in your general direction on radar this afternoon. We zoom back out so you can get a big look at the overall picture, and you can judge there how this stuff is moving this afternoon. Roanoke, you're in Randolph County. I just told you, Randolph County, this storm is in the eastern part of the county. It's moving south. It will affect the entire county before this is said and done. Even you folks back over here in Wadley, Ashland, Lineville, you'll see the stuff up here around Jacksonville that's slipping to the south. That'll make it down into Clay County. And then all of this activity across northeastern Randolph and eastern Randolph is also moving south, and that's the portion of the storm that will get probably Wedowee, Rockstand, Roanoke, back over toward Rock Mills, and then on to the south into Chambers County as this entire line moves to the south this afternoon. Let's see. County Road 87 between Springfield and Omaha. Should be storming pretty good up there, Lynn, right now. Let's see here. Watching in Woodland, very heavy rain and thunder and lightning. Thank you for that report, Karen. Let's see if there's any other reports we've got in here. So we're getting a new severe thunderstorm warning. And this is going to be for Heard County, and this is going to get Heard and Troop. So here's a new severe thunderstorm warning now, just issued by the National Weather Service for northern Meriwether County, eastern Heard County, northeastern Troop County, and Coweta counties of west central Georgia. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 3:30 p.m. this afternoon. At 2:54, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Central Hatchie to near Powers Crossroads to near Luthersville to Sonoya, moving to the south at 35 miles per hour. The hazard with this line of thunderstorms is 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-sized hail. So that's going to be for this entire area south of Peachtree City back over to around Franklin. It does get Grantville. It gets Hogansville. And LaGrange, you're not in it just yet, but that's probably coming. Again, the Weather Service in Georgia opting to go with severe thunderstorm warnings for this line. So far, Alabama's covering all of this with special weather statements. Special weather statement is the first level. Then you go to severe thunderstorm, that being the highest of severe thunderstorm warnings. So that's kind of how that works. If you see a special weather statement go out, there's a chance you could also see that upgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning as the storm continues to increase in intensity. At Metro Atlanta, just heavy rain right now, and the rest of East Alabama is in good shape, other than that line of storms stretching from Jacksonville to Heflin to about Wedowee and then down to just south of Franklin. And all of this continues to move off to the south this afternoon. Hail in Big Springs. Thanks, Cody. County Road 65 in Big Springs. We have hail. Cody, what size hail are we looking at? Heavy rain on County Road 87, lightning striking the ground pretty close. Lightning and thunder in Roanoke, strong winds in Big Springs, dark clouds and thunder. Micaville, yeah, hang on. It's to the north of you. It's probably going to head that way. Watching in Woodland, very heavy rain and thunder and lightning. Strong weather in Wedowee, County Road 600. Roxton. Hey, Brittany. Yeah, that's a pretty heavy thunderstorm. The absolute heaviest now is just to the east of Wedowee and stretches down just south of Franklin. This particular area here. Let me go in a little closer for you. This is the heaviest part of the storm right now. And it's literally right there on the county line between the state of Alabama and Georgia. That's the heaviest part of the storm at the moment. And you see that's just a little bit north and east of Roanoke, a little bit north of Rock Mills. It's all moving south. Roanoke, you're going to get this stuff up there around Woodland. I mean, the east side of Roanoke is going to catch this part. But you see how that works. This entire line is moving to the south, like so. Yeah, things should be improving up there in Hawk. You should be getting better in Ranburne. North of I-20, you should be in good shape now. Still pretty heavy weather up there in Heflin. About to move into the Anniston-Oxford area. We have another, let me get this current. We have another cell developing now near Lake Wedowee, just north of Wadley. That's a brand new cell that's popping up in that last volume scan that's on the leading edge of this line of thunderstorms moving to the south. This looks pretty mean over here in southeastern Randolph County. That's got some indication of wind in it right there, just to the north of Roanoke. Right there at Big Springs, Omaha, Potash, down to Wehatchee, Springfield, Barrett Crossroads. See that kidney shape right there? That's an indication we got some wind in this. So if you're over there on the eastern side, you know what I'm talking about. Make sure you're in a place of safety as this storm moves through. And again, it's going to be moving. Forgive my line drawing. It's not very good when you're trying to use a mouse, but it's going to be moving. Let me see if I can make that look a little better. In that general direction. Well, thank you, Bethany. I appreciate that. Crazy wind and rain at Barrett's Crossroads. Yep, we were just showing you that. Getting dark in Roanoke. Wind Creek is okay right now. And Cassandra, that's okay to be a what about in a situation like that. Yeah, that was a valid what about question. Yeah, nothing over here in Alexander City at the moment. All this stuff is well to the... Uh-oh, wrong way. Let me go back out. All of this stuff is well to the northeast of Lake Martin. Now, we got to watch this stuff up here in Anniston, and there's always a chance that something could form out ahead of this line, and that would affect you down here at Lake Martin. So, by no means am I giving you the all clear down there at Lake Martin. I'm just telling you that at the moment there's nothing impending that could be a problem for you down there on Lake Martin. Now, if you're down there at Wind Creek, you want to, and you are, I went back and looked at your note, you want to make sure that you've got a plan. You don't want to stay in an RV or a tent or a camper or anything like that in the event that this weather does make it down there. Know what your evacuation plan is. You don't even want to sit in your automobile. You know, all those tall pines down there around Lake Martin could become a problem. So have a plan to go to maybe to a bathhouse, or I'm sure they've got an evacuation plan for the park down there. Know what it is in the event that you have to exercise it, because this entire line is sinking to the south. So within the next hour, maybe, this stuff up here around Anniston does make it to you, or we have new cells pop out ahead of this line that will make it down there. So you do need to be, definitely need to be weather aware down there on Lake Martin, down here on Lake Harding, West Point Lake, Chambers Lake, any of the lakes around East Alabama or West Georgia. You guys should be, if you're in the direct path of this thing, you need to be seeking shelter. And we're going to deal with the same setup tomorrow. It may be again even on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. 4th of July is looking especially wet right now. So this may be a daily event type thing through the entire holiday weekend. A lot of folks are going to be outdoors. It's the 4th of July. They're supposed to be. But you need to have a plan and be weather aware. How long is it going to rain in Roxanne? Probably for about an hour. Yeah, Roanoke, this is bearing down on you. I mean, it's right there. It's moving your way. No, Bethany, there are no tornadoes, but the point I was making a few moments ago, folks, and that's always the first question when we have severe thunderstorms, is there going to be tornadoes? What about tornadoes? People pay a lot more attention to tornadoes than they do severe thunderstorms. And I get it, because most of the time a severe thunderstorm, the thunder and the lightning and a brief wind gust, and it's done. So if the word tornado is not used, people typically don't pay a whole lot of attention to it, but you should. We got in a situation like that up here in northeast Georgia last Sunday, where we had a severe thunderstorm that caused more damage, or just as much damage in a particular area as Hurricane Irma did back in 2017. Literally, we still have people without power up here. And it was all from a severe thunderstorm, similar to what we're looking at coming through Randolph and Hurd right now. So you got to pay attention to severe thunderstorm warnings. Straight line winds of 60 to 70, 80 miles per hour can do just as much damage as a small tornado, and often do. So you have to pay attention to severe thunderstorm warnings. But to answer your question, I'm sorry, I got off on my soapbox. To answer your question, Brittany, no. Bethany, I'm sorry. No, there are no tornadoes out there today. But anytime there's a severe thunderstorm warning, there is always that possibility that we could catch a small spin-up tornado just because there's not a warning out there. Mother Nature doesn't listen to what us humans say. Mother Nature does what she wants to. The atmospheric conditions are not conducive for the formation of tornadoes today, but that doesn't mean we couldn't have a quick spin-up tornado. That's why I often preach take a severe thunderstorm warning as though it's a tornado warning. That's the safest thing to do. Course of least regret. If there's a warning of any kind for your area, take cover. That way you don't have to worry about it. Trees down in Woodland and Wedowee area, and power is on and off in Roanoke. I'm not surprised. Thundering in Standing Rock and getting dark outside. It's coming to you from the north, Jennifer. Sharpsburg at work, and the lightning has been awful. Yeah, it's a pretty heavy thunderstorm coming down from Coweta County. That's correct. It is propagating on its own outflow boundary. That's what makes these storms this time of year. That's what gives these storms this time of year the possibility of being extra severe, because they lay down those outflow boundaries and then they regenerate, and that's what we're seeing happening here. This stuff that's just developed to the southwest of Wedowee is growing in the outflow boundary from the main line. The storm that just blew up over East Randolph, same thing. It propagated and developed off of the outflow boundary from the storm as it was coming into northern Randolph County. We see this happening over here in Georgia near Williamson and Gay, Georgia. Those two cells right there were developed along the outflow boundary of the parent storm. And that's going to continue to be the trend as this line of storms moves to the south this evening. That's why I'm telling you folks down here at Wind Creek in Alexander City to just because there's nothing moving directly at you at this very moment, we could have other storms form out ahead of this line because they are forming out there in the outflow boundary of the parent storm. Very good observation there. Rain falling points 2.0. I typically don't get that deep in the weeds on here, but it does my heart good to see somebody in here that understands it to that level. Trees down in Woodland and Wedowee, power on and off in Roanoke. That was Joe Knight. Hey, Joe. Joseph, you're not under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's a pretty mean-looking storm to the north of you, especially on the west side of Wedowee that's going to be moving to the south and moving toward Roanoke. That piece over there toward Rock Mills and just northeast of Roanoke is in the process of kind of leveling off. I don't see any purples in there, but up 431 there from about Needham's Hill or maybe about Crystal Lake all the way to Wedowee on the west side of 431 looks pretty rough, and it's coming in your general direction. So it wouldn't hurt anything to take shelter, just to be on the safe side. Ashland, you got some storms. This stuff up here around Anniston and Oxford is what you've got to be looking for. Though we're beginning to see some new formation there around Lineville. Again, these are new storms that are developing in the outflow boundary of the parent storm up there around Lineville, so that's probably going to get you in Ashland. So you do have developing storms in your area. It'll be down toward Lynette in another hour or so. Power's out in Roxton. Wind picking up in Lineville. Trailer is rocking. Well, Catherine, you shouldn't be in a trailer. Gotta have somewhere to go during times of severe weather. You can't stay in mobile homes. I'm not throwing rocks at you. I'm just being straight with you. I'm telling you the truth. You have to have a plan. Everybody says, well, I don't have it. There's no way I can't. I mean, yes, you can. Ask people who have been severely injured or lost loved ones in a mobile home during severe weather if they could have an evacuation plan. After the fact, they'll always tell you yes. Before the fact, they'll tell you no. Now, I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm just being straight with you. I've lived in mobile homes all my life at different times. They're beautiful, but they're no match for severe weather. That's just a fact of life. Highway 431, trees down. Wedowee Road is blocked. So we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning coming now. This is going to be Heard County. And this is going to be Heard and Troop. National Weather Service office in Peachtree City has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for west central Meriwether County and west central Georgia, southern Heard County in west central Georgia, and Troop County in west central Georgia until 3:45 p.m. Eastern. At 3:13 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Glenn to Hillcrest to Hogansville, moving south at 15 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-sized hail are possible with this storm. Again, that's severe thunderstorm warning now, and you see it populated there on the screen. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for Troop, southern Heard counties. Gets Grantville, or actually Hogansville, down to about LaGrange, and that extreme southern corner of Heard County. So the wind threat is really right there along the leading edge of all of this, though the wind could be a little gusty back behind it, but the main threat is going to be right along the leading edge of this line of thunderstorms. And there could still be some small hail in pockets. I don't see quite the hail signature we were seeing earlier. I see possibly some right there in southwestern Heard. Maybe a little hail around Hogansville. There could be a small area of hail right there around Needham's Hill on 431 in Randolph County. And then back up on the northwest flank of this storm, maybe a little hail just southeast of Oxford. I'm a little complexed. I really think that eastern Randolph probably should have gone under a severe thunderstorm warning when that storm came through. The extreme northwest flank of this line has not shown the severity as this stuff in Randolph and Hurd has shown. And the National Weather Service at Peachtree City has covered their entire portion of this line with severe thunderstorm warnings all afternoon, but Birmingham hasn't done that. Not really sure what their thinking is. I think at least eastern Randolph should have been under a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, but south of Wedowee down to just the northern fringes of Roanoke, you've got an outflow boundary-produced storm right there. And it's got a little kidney shape to it, so there's probably wind places like Crystal Lake, back out County Road 26. Probably some pretty good wind taking place right there. Cornhouse Creek, Harmon's Crossroads, Friendship Community, Broughton Ridge, back up toward Ophelia, maybe even all the way down to Malone, and pretty close to Corinth. Some pretty good winds right there in that storm that's running pretty much to the west and parallel of Highway 431. So we've got a new special weather statement just issued by the National Weather Service in Birmingham, and this is going to include extreme southern Randolph and most of Chambers. That's a special weather statement just issued by the National Weather Service. And I'll read that to you. Strong thunderstorms will impact portions of southern Randolph, northeastern Tallapoosa, and Chambers counties through 3 p.m. 2:16 p.m. Central, Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from near Standing Rock to near Malone. Movement was to the south at 30 miles per hour. Hazard with this storm is 50-mile-per-hour wind gust, and they're not mentioning hail. They're just talking about 50-mile-per-hour wind gust. That does go along with my observations just a moment ago, and that I don't see the hail indication that we had on these storms about 20 minutes ago. But that outflow boundary, again, here's the piece of the storm they're talking about. You see that it's kind of got that little kidney shape to it, and that's what has the capability of throwing those 50 mile per hour winds out there. So and look, we have another cell trying to develop down here, right along the Tallapoosa Chambers County line there, somewhere just south of Frog Eye. That's an outflow boundary produced storm again, and that's going to be the MO of these storms this afternoon. So we'll see this one grow. So you folks down here in Camp Hill, maybe back over toward Lafayette, Tiller Crossroads, Trammell Crossroads, Hampton, Dudleyville, Marcoot, Sykes. This is in Chambers County. Heads up. You got a storm developing just south of Frog Eye, and that will probably continue to grow as it moves off to the south. Heads up, LaGrange. You're about to get nailed. You got some very heavy rainfall, probably very windy in downtown LaGrange right now. And you've got some extremely heavy rainfall that's moving directly south from your north, about to move into downtown LaGrange. Probably has already moved into downtown LaGrange by now. Wedowee is through the main line. There is another batch coming your way, but I don't think it's going to be as significant as that first wave that came through. Is Roanoke in bad shape? Not to my knowledge. I mean, I don't know if you're asking about storm damage or are they in bad shape as far as what the weather is? I mean, it's just now really moving into Roanoke, and I don't see anything. I mean, it's windy, no question. There's thunder, there's lightning, no question. There's heavy rain, but I don't see anything terribly significant moving through Roanoke right now. Yeah, power is flashing in Roanoke. That was pointed out a few minutes ago. Facebook user reporting just heavy rain in Roanoke. Trees down between Roanoke and Wedowee. Yeah, probably there's probably some down on 431 up there. That's a pretty good wind event up there. Lots of wind in Broughton. Hail on 87. Yeah, there could be still some hail there. But I got to tell you, there doesn't appear to be nearly as much hail in this storm as it once was. Yeah, things should be getting better up there in Anniston. It was just storming in Anniston, but things should be quickly improving in Anniston and Oxford. Wedowee fire truck just left, headed south down 431. Probably got trees all over, or I wouldn't say all over 431, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some reports of trees down across Highway 431. It's moving through Roanoke now. It just kind of depends on the exact motion of this stuff that stretches back up toward Wedowee. If that continues moving due south, then Roanoke ought to get out of it pretty quick. We do have another piece of the storm up here to the north. But that may slide just to the west of Roanoke, so this doesn't necessarily look like a long event for Roanoke. Yeah, Cammy, I'd have to go see some radar data to confirm that. Probably what you saw was a scud cloud. There was no, and there is no indication of any tornadic activity near Wedowee. Probably what you saw was what's called a scud cloud. It's just a cloud formation that looks a lot like a funnel cloud. There's certainly no radar evidence that there was or is any type of funnel cloud involved with this system. I mean, this is the base velocity, and this is what would show. This is one of the products that would show something like that. And I don't see it. It's not there. Now, it does show some pretty good wind up here just north of Woodland right now. I'm not tornadic. I'm talking thunderstorm wind. So just north of Woodland, we've got a little pocket of wind right there, and then another one over here on the down right around the, well, actually it went away on that last volume scan. Probably pretty gusty down here around Weehadkee as well. But certainly north of Woodland right there, we've got a little gust front, and it's coming off this next little round of wind. I'm sorry, this next little round of rain that's coming in. So right in here, we've got a gust front. And that's moving south-southeast. So the rain continuing to march on off to the south this afternoon. And since we have not had, other than the Troup County warning, we've had no warnings in Alabama whatsoever. They've all been special weather statements. We're going to step aside and watch this, and if we get a warning for the area, I'll come back and continue with our live coverage here on Dr. Don's Weather. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll continue to monitor this and bring you more information as conditions warrant on Dr. Don's Weather.